Here. Today I'm going to be going over how to discharge a traffic ticket. We're going to be going through this process by learning by example. So I'm going to be showing you the response that I wrote to a municipality, and I'm going to be showing you the response that municipality wrote back to me after I wrote back with respect to the ticket that I was issued. The ticket that I was issued was a turning right on a red light by a camera. I think we've all had plenty of those. So the first thing that I'm going to explain about how to discharge a traffic ticket is that the foundation for all commercial transactions is based on this thing called the Uniform Commercial Code. That's what dictates all commerce, and that's what builds up the legal system, because everything is a contract. It's all contract law. That's why everyone always says, well, was it on paper? Do you have a contract? So with that being said, I'm just going to jump right into it, and I'm going to show you the response that I wrote to this municipality, and I'm going to show you the response that they wrote back to me. So here is the discharge proof, the discharge letter, and this was back in 2018, and here is the ticket number, and then I wrote registered USPS mail receipt. That's where I put the sticker that you get when you send mail registered or certified, so that you know when that mail has arrived. That way they can't ever say that you never sent anything. You have proof that you actually sent something. So I actually put that in there on the paper that I did send. I took this photo before I sent it in, and I wrote, "To whom it may concern, thank you for your presentment." You should look that up in a law dictionary. Presentment. Fortunately, there is no property damage or personal injury claimant. After searching for records of a full disclosure of a contract including the Evergreen Park and the holder in due course, there is no record indicating that any law has been broken or a contract breached. The holder in due course, which was the person who received the ticket, the holder in due course was traveling lawfully, exercising the right to travel. It appears that this notice is pursuant to U.S. subsection 242, deprivation of rights under the color of law. And then I let them know that I understand what they're doing. They're just trying to skip me for some money. So then I let them know that not only do I know the law in U.S. code, but I'm going to let them know that I know the law or the legal system in UCC code, which is really the foundation for everything that governs commercial transactions. So then here's where I say, pursuant to UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, Illinois Code section, because there's UCC for each state, 3, whatever, dash, whatever. As holder in due course, the instrument labeled as, was the ticket they sent me. So I'm letting them know that pursuant to this UCC code, and here's the number, and you can look it up, that me, the holder in due course of the instrument that you labeled, because that's what they call them. They call them instruments, but it's a ticket to you, to the normal people. I let them know that as the holder in due course, the instrument labeled a notice of red light violation, because I didn't break a law. This is just all made up, okay? So this is why you have to go in like this, so that they know that you know the game that's being played. So then I say, as holder in due course, the instrument labeled as a notice of red light violation, ticket number 8X25X, whatever, it's taken in good faith and hereby discharged. So what does that mean? That means that there was no property damage. There was no injured claimant. So there is no real value for which I should pay $100. So I'm letting them know that I understand what's really going on, and that unless they can prove to me that the holder in due course and the municipality or the city, which is the village of Evergreen Park, we don't have a contract. We don't have a written agreement saying that if I turn right on that red light camera, I'm going to get a ticket. It's assumed that you're just going to take the ticket up the ass. So this is how you actually legally and intelligently let them know that you know what's going on. So then I let them know that I'm a real living man, not a legal title, in all caps, which is what is on your driver's license and your state ID and all other legal documents, because you're not you understand yourself as a person, but you're really a legal title, and they have brainwashed you into you just saying you're a person. But in reality, you're either a man or a woman in the flesh, not in the legal system, okay? There are these two things that you have to understand when you jump into the legal system, is that it's all based on paper. It's all based on paper. So you have to connect the real world to the paper world, okay? And this is how we're doing it here, is we're using the Uniform Commercial Code. We're letting them know that we understand the parameters for how they're operating. So now I'm going to discharge it in good faith because they have not provided to me a contract letting me know that we both agreed that I should pay a ticket whenever I turn right on a red light. Or they have not noticed me that there was property damage because I did that. And they did not have an actual person, someone with a legal title, saying, oh yeah, I incurred this because they turned right on a red light. So I don't have to pay for anything. And I let them know that what they're doing, pursuant to US code, is a deprivation of rights under the color of law. What that means is that there's no real law saying that you have to pay when you turn right on a red light. It's not an actual law. It's a code, or it's a violation, or it's some made up thing, but it's not a law. So that's the real takeaway, is that when you're dealing with the system like that, they have what's lawful and what's legal. And once you start to understand the differences between these words, then you start to understand that not all the words that you think, not all the words that you think you know the meaning to have the real meaning that you understand them as. Because in the world of law and legal system, they use their own dictionary. They're called a law dictionary. So you understand words from a certain perspective. But once you start dealing with the law and legal system, they have different interpretations for words. And this is how they get you with the legalese, with the Chinese. You feel me? Like you don't really understand it. And that's really the takeaway here. So everything is rooted in the Uniform Commercial Code because they have made everything connected to money, to commerce. So they have to regulate it somehow, and this is the underlying system. So it's kind of like when you write like a book, you have to have an underlying system of how that book is going to be structured and how the structure really is composed of things like commas and periods and paragraphs, and then you have chapters. So there has to be a system that upholds this. So by you learning the Uniform Commercial Code and you learning the difference between legal and lawful, that's your first start into having the ability and the confidence to write something like this out of your own head. Because I just wrote this out of what I had learned, what I have absorbed. Because now I'm understanding all the different pieces and I'm understanding how to really tangle the beast. So if you like this video, if you want me to put more videos like this, give it a thumbs up, drop me a comment, and please subscribe. I'm dropping a new video where I'm exposing State Farm for their corporate greed. I have a lawsuit going on with State Farm, and these lawyers are greedy and unconscionable, really. So I'm going to be uploading a video on that ASAP. Please check it out. For now, this is the proof that I know my shit. And then here is the response. As we can see, it has the same violation number, 8X, closing out with WR. And there you go. As holder in due course, blah, blah, blah. Ticket number 8X, closing in WR. And then here's what they wrote back. They said, findings, decisions, and orders. On 11/26, you were issued a citation for a red light violation with the jurisdiction of the Village of Evergreen Park, as I had outlined in the first letter. And then they write, an administrative hearing officer has reviewed all the evidence submitted, either in person or by mail, by the Village of Evergreen Park, and by you. I can't read out what the other part says, but here's the best part. In this finding, the administrative hearing officer that you are not liable for the violation alleged in the citation. Once again, it is the finding of the administrative hearing officer that you are not liable for the violation alleged in the citation. Consequently, you are not responsible for the $100 fine. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I taught myself how to program when I was in the 7th grade. I just finished wrapping up the source code, learning the source codes for Bitcoin. Like, I'm a fucking genius. Let's fucking go. Here is the proof. Here is the proof. And then here's the letter that I wrote, once again, in chicken scratch, after I woke up from a nap. So look up presentment. Look up the Uniform Commercial Code. Look up full disclosure. Look up holder in due course. Look up what makes a contract a contract. Look up contract law. What else? Look up the difference between legal and lawful. And really dig into the Uniform Commercial Code. And really look for a Black's Law Dictionary. And that's about it. That's about it. Understand the difference between a legal person and a living man or woman. Okay? That's really where you're going to get your mind exploded by the knowledge that comes out of that. So don't forget to visit isaac-versusstatefarm.com and drop me a like, drop me a comment, drop me a subscription. Let me know what you thought of this video. Peace and love.